Guys, my name is Mate Man, welcome to another video. We are going to be doing the play review series again. It's been a while since I've done this, and we have this user, Magicsound, who has came back from, after playing for over 13 years. They are a grinder slash boss hunter, and they have a 28 million budget there. Just want to get an idea of their weapons, stats, and implants as well, and if there's any improvements that can be made. By the looks of it, so far, I'm not actually convinced there's much of an issue, really. So, as you can see, they are focused on melee and rifles as their weapons, and they also have a Taku reactive. Now, this looks a bit of an odd one, honestly, but they do also have the athlete one as well, so it's an extra 10% speed. Let me just add that on. So with this, we're going to look at their profile both in game, well, in different tier profiler, and we're going to look at the market, see if there's anything we can do here with it. Off the rip, weapon wise, you are actually quite fine for what it is. I do have a bit of a concern over the double rifle sitting there. Reason being is because that's not particularly something you would see normally, but I do understand to a certain degree why these two rifles. So the Impaler is actually fairly good, and I would probably not recommend even removing that, and if anything, on the simple basis that this is quite a multifunctional rifle to use. You've got your unlimited ammo, and you've got your rate of fire on that, I'm guessing is the best way to put it. So it shoots quite fast, and also has its alternative fire as well. You've got your melee, which is a little bit redundant. I would probably say definitely get rid of that. I know why you've got it on right now is just to kind of match up with your critical hit there, but I would probably just remove that and go for what you've already got. The Hailstorm is okay. It would probably be your best bet to deal bigger damage to any bosses, and honestly, since you are a boss hunter as well, and kinda the same with your bandits at the same time. And with Taku reactive, like, I understand why you've gotten that, but because of the nicheness of shotguns, you don't even need that 100 strength. It's only 50 you need, and you could potentially just walk away using something else like the Nomad Mesh. But I would probably say I can't remember what it's called now. There's a specific Shunobonu mesh, I don't know how to spell it off the top of my head. Would probably be a better one for this. And the reason being just purely for that speed as well. Even that actually, what I'd actually probably say is just save up for the XL mesh. That's your best non-strength armour to grab at this stage. But if you're looking for something a bit different, I don't know, it's not Shib. Is it Shibonu mesh? I don't even know what it's called. There's a. So get a Shibonu mesh instead over the Taku. The Taku is good, especially with the damage, but if you, realistically enough, you need your speed to realistically do what you need to do, and it's cheaper on the market to do this, so you get your extra 5% of speed on there, so I would trade that out for that. For your shotgun, I would replace the harvester for shotgun. Even though you're going into a machine gun, I would say your shotgun's better for your closer range and does a lot more damage. I do have a complete preference, obviously it is the Cryostorm, but we will look at the shotguns for a more budget friendly version. Realistically, you could go for a CC2 of that as a complete budget version sitting there, but I think there is a better one to grab early on, which I'm pretty sure it's this. Yeah, so the Jackhammer is one of the ones I would recommend at the same time. This seemingly is quite a good weapon, a shotgun to use, and I am looking forward to using using this for a review at some point. I can't even add Jackhammer in. Why are you not letting me do it? There we go, so Jackhammer, again, if you sell your Taku, you can grab this as well. The Jackhammer has a higher rate of fire than most of the shotguns here, and it does kind of pack a punch in a sense of 150 over, how many pellets? 8 pellets. So that's quite good for a budget shotgun. If you're looking for something a bit more be fair, in terms of damage, go for Scourge Shot 10. That will help you out with the damage overall, and it will take down bosses at the same time. It is the upgraded version of the Pain Shot 10, but those are the two recommendations over the Harvester. Just so you have that shotgun now, you don't need a melee if you've got rifles. The fundamental rule is, if you're investing in any one of these, you're fine, and your other one could be any one of these here. So if you're investing in pistol, don't go melee or rifles. If you're going rifles, don't do the other two. I know my Exile Survivor series is different in that sense, where I'm having to do that in episode 2, but that has a reason to it. You're more established as a more of a recurring player. With the kind of setup you've got here, I would have probably said early on to event for your rifle and SMG at this stage. Reason being is because SMG has a very high critical chance now. That makes it a lot more better to pick up, and there is some, or at least there used to be, a very, very reasonable alternative to buy, which was Raptor for like 4 mil. So I would recommend obviously sticking with what you've got now. There's no point to the start reset. You could just steamroll your levels if you really must, but I would highly recommend maybe getting into some sort of explosive at the same time, because that will save your bacon in a sense. Other than that, the only issue that I can see for yourself is because you've got that 100 strength, you're kind of missing out on 50 stats there. That could have actually gone in much better use, and either you're getting a full dexterity there. It could have been 10 more points in this. It could have been 10 more points in your endurance, but obviously you can steamroll your stuff there. So that's not particularly an issue, but I would probably still say do a stat reset regardless, because that 100 strength isn't required. I would say your dexterity is more important in this day and age, just to kind of get the faster attack speed. With your equipment as well, you've got the bunny backpack. That's absolutely fine. I would probably say that extra, I think it's damage. Yeah, I think it's damage it gives you, but I'm not 100% sure, but that's going to be a bit more helpful. We've got your implants here. Some of these I would obviously change in a heartbeat, just to kind of make your life a lot easier when it comes to grinding, but I've got it set up in the other end there. None of these are god crafted, so I can see that. So yeah, weapon wise and equipment and armor wise, I would do those changes. Obviously it's optional, I wouldn't say must do it kind of thing. The other thing we want to discuss is your implants as well. So currently this is your implant at, well, roughly what it should be across the board, and I would say we need to make some changes here already. So we should get rid of the, we can keep your Anderson for that damage, but remove the experience and rage implant. What you should do is get the other, what's it called, circle link, get the neuro drive. So this will increase your attack speed to 5%. As cliche as it is, attack speed is going to be very crucial in every aspect of what you do in terms of Death Frontier, and having that as high as you can is going to be great. Now, I've not incorporated the supply officer stuff just in case, because not everyone wants to opt in for it, and that's absolutely fine. The other thing I would probably say is, obviously at this stage you're going to get more implant slots, and I'm going to base this on the fact that every single person should do this. Always aim to go grab your Apex implant. The reason being is your Apex implant is going to be the best free-to-play implant you can get. With the stats it gives, it's just totally the best thing. If you can't afford that, always look to get the individuals. Obviously for early on, the best thing for you to do is either get the Devil's implant or the Behemoth implant, because currently the biomasses are worth so little because of the ground zero. So you could get your damage and XP gain on that. If anything, I would say we should probably use the time you have to really just focus in on getting your speed up. So if I was to do the Devil's implant, you'd have 40% speed. You'd also have the 5% from non-strength as well, so you have 45% speed, which makes you a bit more better in terms of run and such. Your stats aren't going to be really anything amazing in that sense. You still got 9% damage. I understand why we've got the rage on, but that sounds so bad saying that, that's taking that context. But I would highly recommend changing your implants to be more unique and diverse. If I was to say, if you say this time next week you got to the point where you could make the Apex implant, your stats would look a lot better. You would be doing 43% speed. Do that? Hold on. Yeah. So your stats would just be so much better with this on. So always, and I mean always, run for this. If you're wanting to put something else on and you are thinking, oh god, I'm getting hit quite a lot, this brawler implant is actually not too bad. That's something I would recommend popping on just to kind of give you that kind of boost. In the long term, obviously you are going to get access to the Dusk implant here at 200 if I remember right. It's fairly okay for what it is. At that point you should have what, 9 or so. So you just shove that on as well. So yeah, implants, speeds and stuff like this would look like this. Obviously you're not a looter, you are a grinder, a boss hunter and such, and that's absolutely fine. Like, this is taking in mind you are a grinder and boss hunter. I think with your stats currently as they are, the weapon choice you have isn't going to be as helpful. Just purely the Harvest of Sorrow, it's an okay melee weapon, but you need the shotgun to do that crowd control to kill things quite quickly, and you need something that shoots fast, and that's where I'm suggesting those two. For example, you do have the AA-12, that's one of my budget ones I would go for if I was in dire straits, but the jackhammer or the Scourge Shot would be your best ones for the damage it does. I'd probably say the jackhammer over it. You could go for something totally different if you really wanted to, but if you wanted something more fast, more impactful, go for that. Yeah. Your goals, I would say, from this is focus on your Apex implant, never disregard that. Change the Rage and the other implant you've got, which is the Experience implant, for the Neurodrive. Get your speed up, it means you'll last longer in any kind of scenario, and you're quicker as well. You don't want to be left with your arse hanging out in a sense at the same time. The other thing I would probably say is from that, if you can keep affording your GM, whatever you look off the bat, such you'll get stuff decent. You will eventually get to a point where you're thinking, okay, I need to get something more beefy in terms of implants, and that is completely respectful. There's only a handful of ones I would recommend even grabbing at this stage, which would be the Hail Parasite for attack speed, the maybe not that, in fact, maybe the U implant, but I'm on the fence at this early stage. Mimic and Slayer if you really must, because Slayer will help at this stage as well. But yeah, this is kind of my recommendation, how you get from where you are to a better spot. You're pretty much set off on a decent scenario with your loot, with your weapons and equipment. I wouldn't say it's anything bad. Obviously with the upcoming events we've got going on this year, you could totally grab a lot of the free implants like the Jolly, Elf, there is going to be White Pumpkinhead as well, and I think there's a few more but I can't remember off the top of my head, so you'll be quite in a better spot than you would be now. But yeah, hopefully this helps out. If anyone else wants a account reviewed, just to give you a heads up, this will probably be the last of this series. So Magicsound, thank you for submitting this, I do appreciate obviously asking. For those who still want their profile reviewed, I do have a channel on Discord. What I'll do going forward, instead of making a video, like I said, I'm going to cancel the series, but finish the series up now and move on. I will just do a quick look at your profile, give you the points of what I would change or what kind of advice I would be able to give, and we'll go from there. But yeah guys, thank you very much for watching, have a great day, great time, I shall see you guys later, and goodbye.